how could you just up and leave? I mean, no message, no note, no line.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 funniest supporting character bloopers on The Big Bang Theory.
My wife's in New York, and I got a Lion King residual check burning a hole in my pocket. And I can say residual better than that.
For this list, we'll be looking at times anyone outside of the main gang made us chuckle with flubbed lines, missed cues, and other goofs. Which The Big Bang Theory supporting character deserves their own show? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. That's not Sanskrit. After Shamey breaks up, Amy decides to get back out there, so Sheldon follows suit. He enlists Howard and Raj to plan an elaborate scavenger hunt that will introduce him to his perfect match.
We could set it up like a scavenger hunt where the last puzzle gives the winner Sheldon's contact information.
This is actually an interesting social experiment.
I'm a little jealous of the people who get to do it.
Me too, and we've seen the prize.
Amazingly, someone does turn up, and her knowledge of flags, Klingon, and ancient Sanskrit is certainly promising.
Puzzles were really fun. I've never had to translate Klingon into ancient Sanskrit before.
Careful. It's addictive.
Actually, scratch the last one. In this outtake, actress Leo Timpton, who plays Vanessa, delivers the line and highlights her mistake almost as if it's part of the dialogue. In all fairness, if she hadn't mentioned it, we probably would have never noticed.
Or as they say in Sanskrit, asamaketetebi. That's not it either.
But Sheldon would have, and he'd likely have shut the door a lot quicker.
Well, you certainly seem like a special lady, but as you know, you missed the deadline, so thanks for playing.
Number 9. Good question. When Penny struggles to get her foot in psychiatrist Dr. Gallo's door, she asks Leonard to pretend to be a patient and put in a good word.
This is crazy. How would my going in there even help you?
I don't know. You could talk to her. Maybe if it comes up, you could ask if she's heard about the drug.
What if I get caught?
A fear of failure. Lack of confidence.
Kind of a wuss.
Being a supportive husband, he eventually agrees and over time convinces Dr. Gallo to meet with Penny. Only the good doc is one step ahead of her, or so she'd have us think.
Do you have any questions?
Just one. When you made your husband pretend to be a patient so you could get access to me, what were you thinking there?
In the blooper, just as she's about to call Penny out, her mind seemingly goes blank. After a long pause, actress Jane Kaczmarek buys herself a little more time with a witty ad-lib that causes everyone to break.
And it goes a little something like this.
We wonder what Dr. Gallo would prescribe for this short-term memory loss. Number 8. President Siebert is mad beyond words. We've all been there. You're so mad or impassioned that the words just don't come out.
Let me make this absolutely clear for you. You two are done talking. We're canceling your speaking engagements and your interviews. You're gonna lie low and let us do damage control.
Well, that's kind of what happens here. President Siebert is beside himself following Amy's outburst at the Fermilab physicists, who are taking credit for her and Sheldon's work.
We're the ones who discovered super asymmetry, so if anyone's gonna feel like they have imposter syndrome, it's us, because we're not imposters. They are! You're imposters and you're frauds!
So he calls her and Sheldon into HR to discuss the incident and damage control. Only, like any of us feeling a strong emotion, he, well, his character, is so mad that words betray him.
All right, well, what can we do?
Nothing. Let me make this absolutely clear. You two are going... Was that clear?
Still, his emphatic finger-pointing tells us all we need to know. Plus, it makes everyone chuckle. It brings some much-needed levity to an otherwise pretty intense conversation. Number 7. You're early. If we know anything about Beverly Hofstadter, it's that she's meticulous about everything. And if you tell her you're showing her your lab at 1 o'clock, you'd better be ready on the dot.
It's 1 o'clock. You were going to show me your laboratory at 1 o'clock.
Her reasoning is unassailable. It is 1 o'clock.
Fine, let's go.
Perhaps this isn't a quality actress Christine Baranski shares with her on-screen counterpart. In this outtake, Baranski enters the room, interrupting Leonard and Sheldon's seemingly serious conversation.
She tricked me into getting rebaptized below the Ferris wheel at the Santa Monica Pier.
Never understood. How did she trick you?
Hi.
Initially, Jim Parsons plays along and greets her, but then someone runs on with a script to remind her of her cue. Her apology is simple yet endearing, but delivered with such spectacular comedic timing that you can't help but crack up. The audience clearly enjoyed it, as did we.
Sorry.
No.
Number 6. How not to entice women. In this episode, Stuart asks Penny, Amy and Bernadette for tips on making the comic book store more inviting to women. He reels off a list of changes he's already made, including a questionable choice to install a camera over the breastfeeding area.
Really? In a comic book store?
Oh, don't worry. I've got a camera right up here, so I could watch from the counter, make sure guys aren't being pervs.
In the episode that aired, you can see how creeped out they all are, and Kevin Sussman's earnest delivery only adds to the ick factor of it all. But as we see in this outtake, even he couldn't take himself seriously.
Anyway, what do I have to do to get you guys in? It's that this is why I can't get girls in the store.
His laughter starts off as a domino effect as the others also start laughing.
So anyway, what would make you get in here? How can I?
Number 5. What does Will Wheaton really add to the scene? Sometimes it's not just the actors who get confused by who's meant to be where and when.
Hey, if you're gonna fire her, then you gotta fire me too. Wow, that fell apart really fast.
Take this blooper from season 7. If you recall the actual scene, Leonard, Penny and Will Wheaton commiserate at a bar after the latter two get fired.
Easy for you to say. You used to be famous.
Hey, I just lost a job for you.
All right, I'm sorry you're famous.
So we're pretty sure Will's meant to be on the set. Apparently this director was either looking at the wrong page or maybe even a former version of the script when he tried to offer Wheaton some direction.
Oh, you're already out, sorry.
Yeah, this scene really doesn't get going until I leave.
Luckily, the actor takes it in good humour and delivers a witty retort that breaks his scene mates, the audience and of course, us too. Number 4. You're never too old for a good gaffe. Comedian and actor Bob Newhart was a great addition to the Big Bang Theory's recurring cast. He brought his dry humour and classic deadpan delivery to the role.
Is she upsetting you? Because I can make her go away.
No, she's the only reason I've stayed this long.
He also made audiences chuckle when the cameras weren't rolling. In an outtake from his inaugural episode, the audience can be heard giggling after a director whispers some instructions to the actor. Without missing a beat, he fires back, getting an even bigger laugh.
I'm 83. What the hell do you want from me?
Well, we'd expect nothing less from a comedy giant. In other episodes, he also teaches us couple and coward are practically interchangeable through this hilarious flub.
Sheldon, in a couple and a coward?
Hey, none of us are at our best when we've just been woken up. Number 3. Well, what is it? A paper or a report? In one of the pivotal moments of season 12, Amy and Sheldon's super asymmetry theory is proven by the two Fermilab physicists we mentioned earlier. This means they could be on the path to a Nobel Prize if Doctors Pemberton and Campbell don't get in their way.
Okay, so you weren't even thinking about super asymmetry?
Thinking about it? We don't even understand it.
And now look at the four of us, changing the face of physics.
Well, it seems like their professional rivals aren't the only ones who don't understand Sheldon and Amy's paper. Or is it a report? We think we'll throw this one to actor Sean Astin.
A few weeks ago, someone sent us it's a report.
Oh, he doesn't know either? Paper is hardly the most challenging word two actors portraying physicists have to remember. Nevertheless, it's the one that trips Astin up the most.
A few weeks ago, someone sent us your letter or report.
Number 2, Bite Me. We're not here to talk about how Amy's mum was originally played by Annie O'Donnell. Rather, we want to focus on what Kathy Bates brought to the role and how she made the otherwise unlikable character a comedic delight.
Let me ask you this. How do you feel about Howard?
Oh, is he that odd little friend you have with that haircut?
I may have married the wrong Fowler.
In fact, she's so good that she even sounds like a pro while messing up her lines.
How could you just up and leave? I mean, no message, no note, no line.
However, this might be our favourite Bates blooper. While Sheldon struggles to bond with his mother-in-law, it's clear that the actors are having a great time behind the scenes. Parsons is tickled when his scene partner forgets her line.
She never joins us for Sunday dinners. I know what it is.
I always dreamed of working with Kathy Bates.
But she quickly hits back, Or perhaps we should say bites back?
Bite me!
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. James Earl Jones wants a do-over. There's a reason he's the voice of CNN and so much more. The man's a perfectionist.
My wife's in New York, and I got a Lion King residual check burning a hole in my pocket. I'm not going to say residual better than that.
Access denied. Even bodiless voices can mess up.
Howard Wolowitz, access denied. Sorry.
Why you shouldn't let stragglers in. This flub is hilarious.
I know your names, and if you mess them up... Well, I know... Was it names or... Okay, sorry. This is what happened when they let stragglers in.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Mike deGrasse Tyson. Zach couldn't resist a good old catch-up with the science dudes.
We're using quantum vortices to replace gyroscopes in guidance systems.
What's neat is that they can maintain angular momentum indefinitely.
Angular momentum. I was wondering about that.
And bless his little heart, he does try. As we see in the scene that made it to air, he's meant to mess up Neil deGrasse Tyson's name.
We've actually been working on a prototype for a navigation system we invented.
Well, we won't bore you with the details.
Are you kidding? I love science. Einstein, Stephen Hawking, Mike deGrasse Tyson.
And indeed, it's funny. But it could have been even more far-fetched, as this gaffe shows. Actor Brian Thomas Smith messes it up so wrong that he practically invents a whole new person.
I love science. Einstein, Stephen Hawking, Mike deGrasse Tyson.
So it's hardly surprising that Kaylee Cuoco finds it so hysterical she almost chokes on her drink. We imagine that there were a fair few spit takes the first time Big Bang fans watched this blooper too.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.